It's time for me to start fighting the fan base. We're ranking every Pokemon Rumble game. Starting off with the first one, Pokemon Rumble on the Wii. This is S tier as far as Rumble is concerned. Who knew that the first game would be one of the best? Sure, it's the second most simple Rumble game, we'll get to that later, but in this case, I think the simplicity really works. It gives it a lot of fun replayability. It's a WiiWare title that's really what you want. It's not here for a long time, but it's here for a good time. Next up we have Pokemon Rumble Blast, the first Pokemon game released for the 3DS. Yeah, this came out before X and Y, this is technically a Generation 5 game. It added a whole bunch of new mechanics that are really good, however it gets bogged down a little bit in its controls. They really weren't super accustomed to the 3DS and they had to change some things from the Wii to make it work. Without the Wii's controls, it feels a little bit awkward at times. The 3DS games would get better later on, but overall there's a lot to like here. The levels are longer and more detailed, the graphics are pretty decent for the 3DS at the time, and it's got good replayability. Solid A tier. Pokemon Rumble U, on the other hand, is a step back in every way imaginable. Sure, the models look decently pretty, I guess, at 1080p HD, but the actual design of them looks clunky and weird. On top of that, they got rid of the linear level progression format from the previous two games and gave us this weird arena thing, which feels like it's right out of a Pokemon Rumble themed party game as a minigame. It does not feel like a full experience at all. And then you factor in the awful controller lag and the fact that they didn't utilize the Wii U gamepad nearly enough. This is D tier. Up next we have a controversial game and a controversial ranking. Pokemon Rumble World, that launched on the eShop as a downloadable free title with microtransactions to buy lives to continue, although you could earn coins to continue, which was a good aspect of it. It later on got a full retail release which got rid of the buying lives microtransaction stuff, and it's a really good game, refining the stuff that made Rumble Blast good and expanding on it. I even like the Mii integration. I think this is actually S tier. Finally, we have the one that no one wants to talk about, and I'm fairly sure a good amount of people don't even know existed at one point. Releasing in 2019 for iOS and Android, this is Pokemon Rumble Rush, a very stripped-back version of kind of what we got on the 3DS. It's got level progression, and it's kind of fun. And oh boy, did fans and critics alike hate this game. Due to the fact it was a free mobile title, of course there are microtransactions, but they were super egregious here. By comparison, the Poké-Diamond system made the Heart system from Rumble World look like an absolute bargain. On top of that, despite being so simple, this game somehow found a way to have technical issues, sometimes having frame rate stutter on even the more powerful flagship phones at the time. Nintendo basically operated this thing at a net loss, and because of that, it was shut down less than a year later. And here we have the final rankings. I know that Rumble World ranking is going to annoy some of you. Fight me in the comments.